We are at Vara Chevrolet and we're about to talk about instant messaging. All right, this is very, very, very important. Most people don't realize how powerful instant messaging is within an organization. Right now, David, are you using any type of instant messaging at the store?
We use chat. Do we use instant messaging?
Yes.
We do.
MSN.
Okay, MSN. Here's what needs to happen though, is the #1 service provider for internet connections is AOL. Okay, AOL Instant Messaging is one of the most popular instant messaging services, so just take a shot at this. Now, you could turn around and get AIM Express right here. Here's what I would suggest that I want you guys to do is this. Everybody like back over here. It's important is I want everybody in this organization, at least for the internet department, the sales and the management department, to have an instant message address through AOL. I would want what's called a unifier. That means that it should be David AT Vada, okay? So like your instant messenger address is going to be, David AT Vada, like David at Vada. It'll be Jeanette AT Vada. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? For example, everybody in my company is ATDS, like at Dealer Synergy. So it's Sean ATDS, it's Anthony ATDS. And what you're doing, it's like having a uniformed email address. Like instead of it saying like, Bob at Vada Chevrolet or whatever it is, everybody in here is going to have an AOL Instant Messenger address. Okay? Now, the next thing you're going to do is look at the screen, is that you have Trillion. I want you to, David, look up. Okay, so you see the Trillion software right here. Trillion is basically an instant message consolidation client for free. Okay, what this does, what Trillion does, is Trillion allows for you to consolidate all your instant messenger accounts. So for example, if I was a coordinator or an internet department here for this dealership, if I had AOL Instant Messenger, that's great, but what if my prospects didn't have AOL Instant Messenger? Then I'd have to have MSN, Google Messenger, ICQ, Yahoo, all that. It's too much, too many windows that are open. You don't need to do it. There's tools like this, like Trillion. You might even find other ones that basically consolidates it. So if you downloaded a tool like Trillion for free to your dealership's, to your desktop, then what happens is you could use that no matter what messenger, your prospects have. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Now, what's kind of cool about this is, let's go over here. What is the power of instant messaging? Well, first of all, does anybody know what percentage of email is spam?
80%.
What do you think? Jeanette?
Like 75.
Try 95. 95% of all email is spam. You guys might not realize because, there's a lot of spam filters that get picked up. But there is a tremendous amount of spam. So what happens is instant messaging is like a direct link to the prospect. Now what people also don't realize is that what's kind of cool about this is that let's say a prospect sends you a lead, or they send you an internet purchase request, and their email is BigBubbaSparks37@AOL.com, right? BigBubbaSparks37@AOL.com. Guess what his email address, his instant messenger address is? It's the prefix. So Big Bubba Sparks 37, that's his instant message address. So you could take that. So let me repeat that so you understand. If I get an email address and it says blah 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 at AOL.com, I just take that part before the at symbol, I cut it, and I paste it right into AOL Instant Messenger, and chances are I will be able to directly instant message that prospect. Let's say I get an email from SeanB37@hotmail.com. That's an MSN Messenger. The beginning, I could drop into MSN Messenger. Does that make sense? Or it could be SeanBBradley22@gmail.com. I could turn around and cut that prefix off, and that would be my, my Google Messenger address. So now, think about how powerful that is in follow-up with your prospects. Let's say you're pounding the phones, phone call, email, phone call, email, phone call, email, and you can't get a hold of somebody. If you have instant messaging set up, guess what you can do now? Now you can take a shot at turn around and through your Trillion software, your AOL Instant Message software, or your Google Messenger software, you'll be able to try to engage your prospect through instant messaging. Time check.
4:33.
Okay. Now, why is this powerful? Why is this a powerful thing? Where do most of people's instant messagings get forwarded to? Guess what? My Facebook is integrated with my AOL Instant Messenger. So when somebody, literally, when somebody goes on Facebook and Facebook messages me, it goes through my AOL Instant Messenger. There's a lot of integration. So now think about that. If you turn on it and instant message somebody, let's say they give you no phone number or bogus phone number, or that you can't get them with their real phone number, you instant message them, they're not expecting it. You could say something like, hey Bob, this is, give me a call right back. You don't even say your name. Hey Bob, this is, give me a call right back. And they're like, oh wow, somebody just instant messaged me. Okay, who's this? Gotcha! You got them now, right? Now, and if it's tied to their cell phones as well, when they call you back, you could do your caller ID, you'll get all their information. At the worst case scenario, at least you have another opportunity to engage a prospect. Remember, J.D. Power says you only have about 11 to 14% connection ratio on the phones. You only have about a 12 to 15% email read-open rate. That means only 12 to 15% of people that you send an email to are going to ever bother opening up the email. That means if you call 100 people on the phone, only 11 to 14 bodies are going to pick up the phone. So now you need to diversify your attempts and your connections. How could you do that? Again, with instant messaging. Instant messaging should be an amazing tool to prospect and try to communicate with your customers and your prospects. The other thing is this, internal communication. If you're up here, pan the room real quick. This is going to be the future internet department. Obviously, there's no cubicles in here yet. There's no lines. There's no phones. But inside here, in this room, what's going to happen in the next week or two, you're going to have a full-blown like BDC, boiler room, call center, internet ninja department, whatever you want to call it. But you're away from the showroom, right or wrong. Can you imagine if you had instant message set up for your staff, David, if it's forwarded to your cell phone? What you can do is you could turn around an instant message. You could be on the phone with the prospect. I need a TO, help, boom. Help's on the way. Without saying, hold on for a second, you could just instant message for a TO. You could also say, to get a step further, if it was me in here and I was a consultant, I could just turn around and say, David, real quick, what's the ACV on a 2004 Silverado? What's the trade? I could communicate, I could multitask. That's the other benefit of instant message. I could have my headset on, I could be talking to my prospect, doing this, doing that, doing whatever, and I could communicate with other team members, other managers for assistance, information, etc. Or you could turn on instant message to the desk. Hey, listen, appointment's coming in right now. Get everything ready. Boom. It's a streamlined way to communicate. Does that make sense to everybody? Time check?
7:20.
Next time we solve the problem with, like, we needed a question on product knowledge or something, we can email somebody that already knows it and they can...
Not email, instant message in
there
real
you go.
time, absolutely. Here's something even crazier. My team is so vicious, I deal with Synergy over there. I'm in Philadelphia, you're in Texas. We have instant messenger, and you could turn around and have our trainers, our managers, can you imagine you could be on the phone with the customer, and you could, if I'm at my desk, if you instant message me, right? I could turn around and you say, sure, I'm having a problem with price. I could turn around and push you rebuttals in real time and say this, try to go that. It's crazy. Think about the level you could take this. Again, you could turn around and communicate with your other vendors. When you start qualifying people, you ask them for their instant messenger address. Your vendors, your partners, other things, ask for their instant messenger address. Can you imagine the customer support at your website company, customer support for your social media, whatever it is? You could communicate faster and quicker and more powerfully through instant messaging, especially when instant messaging is integrated with social media like Facebook, Twitter, etc. And then I'm going to reinforce one more thing. Besides it being able to be integrated with social media, it's mostly forwarded or accessed through your cell phones. So you have a whole other way, like LoJack, that you can reach your prospect. Stop.